morning, everybody. How is everyone doing today? Okay, well, to the people who I dost care about, how are you all doing? Welcome to the show.
Why am I up on a Saturday at this time? Why? What you couldn't schedule this for like a time when, like, after I finish my coffee. This is yet another slight to me, Mr. Vassal.
Well, I think there's a very clear answer here, because you would already be up, because when you get to be the ancient age that you are currently, you would not be able to,
Promise me you
sleep
wouldn't.
in past 6.
You promised me you wouldn't take shots today, but
I
that's
said
okay.
to Miss Sydney that I would not take shots. All right, so if you don't know who's on screen here, we have outgoing Stronghold Stephen Buonocore, who is fulfilling a contract before he retires, and incoming Sydney Engelstein. Sydney, what is your position at Stronghold?
I'm going to be stepping into the director of game development, which means that I'll be overseeing pretty much all of the projects. In addition to the projects I'm already overseeing on the IBC side, I'll be working sort of with both of them and just ensuring that everything has the same quality that everyone comes to expect from all the games out of indie game studios.
All right. Well, we're going to talk to both of them, and they're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up from Stronghold in the future. Before we do that, let's do some bookkeeping here. Welcome everyone. It is the last day of the Summer Spectacular. Today will be a much shorter day. We'll be ending after our final video with Sam Healy, top 10 list today, because today is Independence Day in America, July 4th. So to all of you who are celebrating a holiday, happy Independence Day. And let's see, we are running a few more contests before we end here. You can enter a contest right now by emailing us at contest@dicetower.com. Put in the keyword last as subject line, and in the description put your name and address, and you can win a copy of Animix or Dragominos from Blue Orange Games. So the keyword is last in the subject. Also, many people have their own dice person. You've noticed those. You see them here above us and below us. Do you want your own? You can bid for one of these. Just send us an email to auction@dicetower.com and put a bid in there. And it's a non-commercial use. Yesterday's bid, I actually have it here. Hang on, I'm going to bring it up to see. I
could get one of these?
You can. Jenny St. Arnold won yesterday with a bid of $400.99.
Whoa!
So
Jenny is awesome.
Thank you very much. So today's the last day. You can also go check out our website to see all the winners from the contests yesterday. All right, I think that's all the bookkeeping stuff here. Let's talk about Stronghold. All righty, what do you have to talk about?
Okay, so yeah, let me go first, and we're going to go back and forth with myself and Sydney. But the first thing, and we'll go pretty quickly, we're going to talk about Terraforming Mars, the big box. Now, the Kickstarter just ended. It was wildly successful. Please go over to Kickstarter.com and just type in Terraforming Mars Big Box. Tom's showing you what this thing had in it, and as you can see, this is a huge storage solution for the entire game that has come out before this. The game itself and all 5 expansions, and what we have in there on those layers right there are all new 3D tiles for the game and 3D markers for the game. It is absolutely a gorgeous project. As I mentioned, wildly successful with something like
2.5 million raised.
And like 22,000 backers or something like that. So if you want to go check that out, you can still late pledge for it. It just ended yesterday, but the late pledges will be open for about a week or so after this. So check that out on Kickstarter.com. We also have a small box version of the big box, and that one's just going to have the plastics, all the 3D tiles and the 3D markers for the game. So that's Terraforming Mars big box and small box on Kickstarter. Go check that out. I don't know, Tom, if you can show one of those GIFs, that's cool. But if not, we'll just go right on to Kodama. Oh, there we go. Any of that spin there, Tom?
No, but I can do a pseudo spin.
Ah, that's right. The tiles are absolutely astonishing looking, and all the special tiles from the original game are in there, plus the cities, and which have many different types of cities, but even though they'll functionally be the same, and the greeneries, many different types of those, they'll functionally be the same. So beautiful, beautiful, great accessory to Terraforming Mars.
Here I do. Spin.
Oh, look at that. Oh, he's spinning manually.
Pseudo
Look at him
spin. Ooh.
That's all 3D. It's injection molded plastic with multiple pieces put on there. This one is, in particular, this is the ecological zone for fans of the game. That's a special tile. In this case, it has all kinds of things on there. It has some water, has some greenery, but it's a special tile called ecological zone. All right, Sydney, why don't you tell us about Kodama Forest?
From the IBC side of things, we have a couple of new releases that we're really excited about that are going to be part of our Gen Con bundle, which we'll talk about a little more in a bit. And one of them is Kodama Forest, which is the fourth game from our Kodama line. And one of my favorites because it adds a totally new gameplay. So a lot of the previous Kodama games were variations on the beloved game that introduced new player counts or introduced new strategies, but Kodama Forest is actually an entirely new game that is just set in the beloved, beautiful Kodama universe. Basically, everyone will get 2 of these little mats, and they'll sit between you and the player to your right, and your other one will sit between you and the player to your left. And on your turn, you draw these Tetronymos from the bag, and you will have 3, and of those 3, you have to pick 1 to contribute to your right side board and 1 to contribute to your left side board, trying to get both of them as completely filled up as possible while not covering those blue spaces that you can see where the Kodama already live.
The word is Tetramino?
So all the Tetris pieces.
Got it.
Yeah, well,
I always say the word's
great
wrong.
word.
That's why I asked.
And so all the Tetris pieces have little markers on the side of them. So you can see I have some here. This one has a little flower. And if you match it up with another half flower on a piece to the side, you get to take one of your special animal helpers. There are pandas and butterflies and frogs, and you can add them immediately to your board to cover more space. And even though it's semi-cooperative with you working on 2 boards with the person sitting to your left and right, there's still one winner, and it's the person who did the best on both of their boards. So it's about balancing which of your pieces are best for which board and making sure that you don't outpace one and sacrifice the other, and so on.
When's this game coming out?
This will be around when Gen Con should have been as part of our Gen Con bundle.
Street date for it, I believe, is in either late September or October. But we'll talk about the Gen Con bundle that's going to be happening that we've implied a few times here. All of these games are going to have availability via the Gen Con, online convention.
Now, I didn't look at the box. Is it the same designers as the other?
No, it's actually designed by Kevin Riley and Jenny Iglesias, who worked on lots of other games for us, including Aeon's End. So they're really great designers. We love to work with them. And it's just a beautiful game, really fun, still simple, just like all the other Kodama games, but there are boards that you can play with kids because there are ones marked as simpler, and then all the way up to more complicated boards that can really appeal to any gamer.
It looks like
what else do we have in?
It looks like a larger box. What's the size of the box?
I believe it is larger than the other Kodama boxes. I think it might be 11 by 11, but I would need to look it up. I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, that's what it looked like.
Quickly mention the other games in the Kodama line, because we've got so many of them, and they're all just very, very unique, but they're all related with the beautiful art and the tree spirits.
Yeah, so all the Kodama games are sort of about building trees. This one's about building an entire forest. But the first one was a simple drafting game where you took new branch cards to add to your tree that grew out on the table in front of you. The second one was a I cut, you choose variant for 2 players where you still built the same tree. And the third one, which is still only recently out, is Kodama 3D, where we turn the drafting mechanic into a more complicated movement-based drafting, and the branch tokens you got were cardboard that you could attach to a 3D tree and grow up in front of you and have just a beautiful 3D tree in front of you. And now Kodama Forest is, again, tons of creativity with the beautiful pieces, creating a map all along your board and a unique forest every time.
All right.
And then the other game I was going to talk about, which is one of my personal favorites, is we have the 5th game in the Aeon's End line, Aeon's End Outcasts, coming out at the same time as part of the Gen Con bundle also. And for people who aren't familiar with Aeon's End, it is a cooperative deck builder where players all play mages trying to defeat one giant monster called the Nemesis. And so unlike other deck building games, there's a sort of external goal. You're not just trying to create the best deck you can that scores the most points. You're actually creating an engine that runs faster and faster and faster until you defeat the Nemesis. It also, the other really unique thing about it, as opposed to other deck builders, is that you don't actually ever shuffle your deck. When you run out of cards to draw, you take your discard pile, you flip it entirely over, which provides the ability to set up combos, to really plan out all of your turns. And if something goes wrong, you only have yourself to blame because you have more control than in any other deck builder. Which
I always blame the game. I'm just giving a heads up. I'm not going to blame myself.
To be fair, the introduced randomness is there's random turn order between the players and the Nemesis. So you can never fully know exactly what's going to happen and what's going to be the best shot.
I noticed your name's on the box here.
Yes, I helped design this one. I also wrote the story, which this is a continuation of the story from the previous Aeon's End games, but can also be picked up as a starting place because it explains sort of where we left off. And our heroes are journeying actually into the void, which is the dimension where the monsters come from, to try and confront them there and stop them at the source. And it comes along with a whole story booklet that you can read as you play through the campaign, which is a preset 4 games. So there are 4 Nemesis packaged up with unlocked characters and unlocked market upgrades that you can buy packaged in with them for a sort of expedition experience where you can follow along with the story and play the games in order and upgrade your characters as you go and make your starting deck better. And that way you can get the full expedition experience. But there's also just a ton of new content for people who like to tear everything open and mix it up with the rest of their Aeon's End content. It comes with all new mages and all new Nemesis that can be reintegrated to all older existing Aeon's End content and mixed and matched however you choose.
So you said this is the 5th one?
This is the 5th one.
I'm a little bit behind myself. I think I played the first one.
One of the coolest things about the whole system is that every piece of it just integrates back and forth, including the legacy version, including Aeon's End Legacy. You can take your mages in there that start as like baby mages. They can't do much, and then they get bigger and you make them cooler and stuff. And those you have full blown out breach mages in the end, which can then be brought into any of the rest of the system. That's to me the coolest part of all about the Aeon's End system. And there's many expansions for the game.
And we even have rules on how to, if you enjoy the expedition system, which is that 4-game progression where you unlock treasures that augment the way your mages play. So you unlock tier 1 treasures and then tier 2 and tier 3, so they get progressively stronger. We give rules for how to set up your own expeditions with whatever Nemesis you want, or random Nemesis, or random mages, or picking your mages, so that you can play that sort of mini legacy experience with the leveling up and use all of your old Aeon's End content in that format.
All right.
Awesome.
We look forward to this. So this is coming out same time?
Yep.
Anything else?
Awesome. Do you want to mention the 2 expansions that are hitting, or did you cover
Sure.
those?
So it also all of our Aeon's End main series releases come with a few expansions. So this one has 2, Return to Gravehold and the Southern Village, and those are also going to be available as part of the Gen Con bundle. They each come with 2 new mages, and Return to Gravehold has 2 Nemesis, and Southern Village has 1 Nemesis, who is really cool. He's our first Nemesis who has his own board, actually, with movement around the board. So it's a little bit spatial. And those are not standalone. So if you don't have a main box AMZend, you can't play the full game with them. But they provide a lot of extra content and new ways to play for how small they are.
Awesome. All right. Let's move into, if it's okay, we'll move into Not Alone Sanctuary. Thank you, Tom. So, Not Alone, first of all, for those who don't know the game Not Alone, this is came out about 3 years ago from Stronghold. It's a one versus many game about an expedition from Earth that crash lands on a very distant planet in another solar system called Artemis. And you realize soon after you've crash landed that you are dun, 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 not alone. There is a creature. You like that? I have my own music in my head.
That was very,
you like that?
very, very threatening there.
Yeah, I'm glad you like that. There's a creature that is actually the planet itself. The planet's alive, and it's a malevolent entity that is attempting to assimilate all of the crashed party, which is known as the Hunted, and that's everybody else in the game, and it's 2 to 7 players. So the creature versus as many as 6 other players, the Hunted. You visit locations on the planet and try to utilize the powers at those locations, while the creature is trying to suck away the will of the Hunted and assimilate them into the planet itself. Now, in Sanctuary, the players now find out that not only does the creature exist on the planet, but also there were previous crash survivors from an unknown mission from years before them that are on the planet. However, they've built a fortress, a floating fortress on the planet that hopefully the Hunted can utilize with those other survivors. So what do we have? What's the new stuff that's in Sanctuary? Tom, if you bring up a couple of those things, I'd appreciate it. First, we have the Sanctuary.
Here's the survivors.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Sanctuary board first, if that's okay. Okay, those are the survivors, and they represent some of the inhabitants of the city of Sanctuary. And you're going to get powers if you can rescue them and bring them back to Sanctuary. The Sanctuary board that Tom had there a second ago, that is the city itself, the fortress city. It has a defense rating that you're going to try to build up. This board represents another way for the Hunted to win the game. If they can fortify Sanctuary enough, the creature cannot penetrate it, and therefore they will win, a alternate win condition. There are avatar cards. The avatars they represent the players. So now each player can have a unique power. You can see Malcolm Pike there, Captain Pike. This is Malcolm, not Christopher Pike. He gets a special benefit during Phase 3, etc. Everybody will have a benefit. So
that guy looks super smug.
He's a very smug guy. You know.
He's a captain.
You know, hey, he's Captain Pike. You know. There's new place cards. The place cards are the ones that are needed to be played with this expansion because they will reference the various elements in this expansion. And you'll see that I only picked 4 of them, but they're 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
That's really nice artwork.
The artwork has always been astonishing in Not Alone. So if you want amazing science fiction artwork, this is obviously a game for you. And the final element, so everything I kind of mentioned, help the Hunted, help the good guys in the game. But there's evolution cards here as well. And the evolution cards, they go along with the new Phase 5 of the game. Evolution cards are the special abilities that the creature can manifest. And they come in level 1 and level 2. The creature will acquire DNA tokens, new tokens in the game, and spend those DNA tokens to create and manifest these powers. So in essence, our partners over in Belgium Geek Attitude Games. Has grown the game into a bigger game. So fans of the game are just going to absolutely love this. It's already dripping with theme and intrigue and creepiness. You're going to love it if you like those kind of elements in the game. So Not Alone has always been in my top games in my catalog. And this really solidifies it for me.
The former catalog.
I still have a very big stake in this company, Mr. Vassal.
Hopefully he's not retired yet.
And I'm not retired yet. And Sydney will take a great care of this catalog going forward. I think it's one of the best, if not the best, one versus many game out there, and it plays up to 7 players. Great player count in under 1 hour. So that's Not Alone Sanctuary. And the coolest thing is, going to be on Kickstarter. It will unveil all the cool stuff in this game, and that is on July 7th. So that's Tuesday. This will be Kickstarter on Tuesday of next week, which happens to be my birthday, Tom. I'm sure that present of yours is in the mail to me, right?
Oh, don't worry. I have it, but a lot of people are using this old folks stuff nowadays, so that's a little harder to get, but it's on the way.
Thank you, Tom. So that's it. That's great. And as we've mentioned a few times here, at Gen Con Online, we're going to have a very big sale that we're going to do at the Stronghold Indie Boards and Cards booth there at Gen Con. You're going to be able to get as many as 5 games, 5 games for as low as $50, plus some shipping. And the games will be all the new releases that have not even come out yet, or some things that have just come out a little while ago. So Stronghold catalog, Ripple Rush, which we've been talking about, Divvy Dice, that's the 7th and 8th games.
Can I just quick ask, you're saying 5 for 50? No, that's 5 for 50 each.
5 games, $50.
Got it. Okay, no, that's cool. I just wasn't sure.
No, for you, 5 games, $50 each. For everybody else, 5 games for $50 only. And you'll be able to do some upgrades in the catalog as well. I mean, like Aeon's End 5, that Outcast that you just saw. Now, you can get that as part of your 5, but there'll be an upcharge on that one because that's a big box $50 game by itself. So there'll be an upcharge on that one. There'll be an upcharge on some of these games. But just to mention some of the games that will be available, I said Ripple Rush, Divvy Dice, Coldest Night, Crosswords, Sherlock Files, Volume 2, Magic Money, Aeon's End Outcast, Kodama Forest, The Return to Gravehold and Southern Village, Pursuit of Happiness, Experiences that just came out. So for your $50, you'll be able to get and mix and match these. Some will be upcharged, but a lot of it you can actually get, 5 games for $50 if you want. So we're going to be really excited. I will be retired already by Gen Con, almost. But I'll be there hanging out, playing games. I'll probably put on the schedule, come have a retirement drink with Buonocore or something like that. How's that?
All right, folks, if you have before we jump off here, does anyone have any questions for Mr. Buonocore or Sydney? I got one here already. What's the estimate on receiving the big box?
Yeah, it's we're on target for what we announced directly in the Kickstarter, which I believe was March 2021. No change in that, of course. I mean, we're just in the process of, now we know how many to print, send it out with a few more changes that we need to make, and we're going to print. So 2021 March.
When people you mentioned a deal, but there's also going to be all these new games and other games at the Gen Con thing, right?
There's going to be all of these new games in the Gen Con booth with the deal that I just mentioned. I believe we'll have other games there as well, but we're going to be pushing the new ones. And I think we're going to give you a deal, a whole bundle of brand new releases for Gen Con.
All righty. Well, there's someone says, when will the sale begin?
At Gen Con itself.
He doesn't know the dates. I don't know them either. It's it's August sometime.
July 31st, does it start? I can go check right now. Whatever Gen Con starts. Gen Con starts on the 30th of July. I'm pretty sure.
Somebody named Tony says, do you have plans to wear hats like Tom with your cane, Stephen?
Tony Galati, I'm going to beat you.
What? Oh, yeah. Sydney, I've been wondering this too. So it said, what's on your wall? I thought they were butterflies at first.
Oh, they're masks, like masquerade masks.
Okay.
She has a lovely collection of.
I collect them. I don't have a great place to sit in my apartment. I tried to get my games in the background, but it was.
It's a good background. You have a good background.
I don't have a great one like you, Stu. I need to set up a whole room for it.
You gotta have You have to have the catalog behind you like this.
Alrighty, I think that is pretty much it. Other than the comment here, the face of Stronghold has improved 100%. And
Absolutely
I apologize,
has.
I can't edit comments, but you forgot a 0.
But I do want to say, let me make one final statement, if you don't mind, Tom. As everyone knows out there, I did announce retirement this week. I could not be happier with how the company has grown, and now giving over the company to the most amazing team that could possibly have been put together. Sydney is going to do just an amazing job in the new role, curating the Stronghold catalog, as well as working and continue to work on the indie boards and cards catalog as well. So congratulations to Sydney, and keep up the great work. There's going to be great things in the future from Stronghold Games and indie boards and cards, and Sydney is going to be key to that success.
I'm really excited to be part of it.
Well, we look forward to seeing this. We'll see probably both of you during the Gen Con event. Thank you all for coming on board. Thank you, everyone, for watching Super Spectacular. We're not done yet, though. We're going to jump over to Dan and Cora, and then we got some more stuff coming. Thank you,
Bye.
guys.